This is what happens when you don't know the right way to do something, because I am not a professional animator, and this is definitely not a tutorial. I'm Trevor Viz. Welcome back to the channel. You're probably not aware of how I animate, and since I'm currently working on Bikini Bowl and Bloodbath Babes, which is easily my most ambitious project yet, this is a good time to break down my process, because we're friends now, right? Like and subscribe. The way I animate is very DIY. It's very punk rock. It's very held together with duct tape. There is no way I would ever get a job in a traditional animation studio. Not a chance. There are tons of ways to animate these days. You can use software like After Effects, Blender, Toon Boom. You can use keyframing, puppets, rigs. All of it is very powerful. It's very efficient, but honestly, I just don't enjoy animating like that. I animate frame by frame, which means I individually draw every single frame. For my money, hand-drawn frame by frame animation is incredibly special. When you're drawn every frame by hand, it has this buzz to it. It feels alive. It has this electricity that no other animation process has. I really enjoy working with those constraints. I think if you're using digital software too much, everything can look a bit too polished, a little bit too sterile. It's no fun making art when you have every tool available. It's the restrictions that create style. About 80% of my animation workflow happens in Procreate using the Animation Assist tool. It's not advanced, it's not fancy, but that's exactly why I like it. It just stays out of the way and lets me draw. Then I bring everything into Procreate Dreams. This is where I assemble things. I can resize shots, I can reposition animations and different elements, I control timing, I glue everything together. This basic setup and pipeline is how I've survived animating alone, all by myself. Let's get back to the walk cycle, the opening shot of our trailer. I've always wanted to do that. Do you ever see filmmakers just doing this? Girls' feet walk along the highway, the camera pans up to reveal the bowling alley, very spaghetti western, low angles. I want this to look like the gunslingers arriving at the saloon. The first thing I do is a pencil test for the walk cycle. I sketch everything in Procreate, and it's rough, very rough, but it's just enough to sell the idea. I create 2 individual walk cycles. The first one is 14 individual drawings. The second one is 12 drawings. I make sure that the first and last frames connect cleanly. That's important. That way I can loop the cycle over and over to create the illusion of continuous motion. That simple trick saves me an enormous amount of time. Efficiency. It's sexy. Once it's working, I duplicate the cycle in Dreams and use keyframes to resize it so the legs appear to walk off into the distance. Nothing here is clean, nothing is polished, but I can tell that it's working. Once I'm happy that I've got to grips with it, I know that I can build out the entire sequence. And this is where my influences come in. One of my biggest influences is Bill Plympton. He's an independent animator and he has created hand-drawn, frame-by-frame animated features, a lot of the time almost entirely by himself. His work is rough, it's exaggerated, and it's intentionally imperfect. He's been nominated for numerous Oscars, but more importantly, he is living proof that you don't need a studio, a big budget, or a big team to make incredibly distinctive, impressive animation.
It seems the president was eaten by some kind of giant flying nose.
The first time I saw you.
And for somebody like me who was working outside the system, his kind of independence is hugely inspiring. Let me show you his book. His book, Make Tunes That Sell, it's not a how-to animate book in the traditional sense. It's a survival guide for independent animators, how to make work quickly, cheaply, and without asking for anyone's approval. definite recommend. Another massive influence is David Silverman, best known for shaping the animation of The Simpsons during its earliest years. His animation was loose, exaggerated, and driven by cartoon logic. Characters would bend, twist, and they'd break anatomy for the sake of emotion or comedy. His early work on The Simpsons is often cited as a period when the show's animation felt the most alive and expressive.
I said you're gonna watch this tape, and you're gonna do what I say, or I'm gonna do something to you.
And I don't know what that is, because everybody has always done what I say.
Frame by frame animation takes a long time, especially when you're working alone, so you have to pick your battles. Some shots can get away with loops and shortcuts, whereas others absolutely cannot. Balance between efficiency and obsession is what keeps the work manageable and keeps the quality intact, because I do get obsessed. And that's how I animate. Over the next few weeks, you're going to see a lot more tests, more breakdowns as we bring this animation home. So stick around, like and subscribe. Tell your boss, tell your co-workers, tell your mother and father, tell all your friends about Trevel Viz. I'm sure there's professional animators and students who are just watching this and shaking their fists at their screens. And you know what? Good.